Alrighty. Greetings, people. My wife would like to do the introduction this week, as she is now the big YouTuber star.
I wish I was.
Taking over my channel. But she first needs to learn how to say the introduction. The floor is all yours, madame.
Don't you start calling me madame again.
Yes, wifey.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Please don't beat me again.
Stop it! I don't beat you. You're gonna make the whole of the US try and dox me.
No.
Yes.
I promise. Just don't hit me again. Please.
Oh, stop it. You're ridiculous.
Anyway. We're all waiting with bated breath for you to do the introduction.
Greetings, ladies and mental gents.
Nah, it was a bit lackluster. I think we need a bit more energy. Energy!
Greetings, ladies and mental gents.
Nah.
It'll do? It'll do.
Possibly do. So, yes, this is the weird introduction to the second episode of our podcast with your fantastically beautiful and handsome host, me, and my wife.
Oh, that's nasty.
Well, and hopefully you guessed that it was my wife and just didn't think that somebody kicked me in the nads.
I think our voices are very different. I don't think it would matter.
Yeah, you never know. Some people can do that big change.
Cool.
Yes. So, episode number 2, we're doing the second tier of the Iceberg.
This is where I already start falling off the bandwagon.
Well, this is a little less known or popular movies. But still, if you're kind of into sci-fi, you would have watched most of them.
Okay.
Even in passing.
One of the biggest problems I have is that sci-fi movies were a no-no in my house growing up.
Yeah.
So I don't have all that history in my mind.
We also have the problem of before 94, 95, we didn't have satellite or cable in the American.
Yeah.
So we didn't have many channels, and there wasn't a lot of sci-fi on there.
Yeah, true.
And when satellite TV came in, we got the sci-fi channel.
Yeah, which was like, oh.
Back then. So there's a lot of the sci-fi movies, unless you happen to be video files and going to rent them out at the...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we used to do that all the time.
Oh.
Every week. They used to have a special on at Mr. Video, which was like 10 videos for 7 days. Jeez.
That's not bad. No. In my family, it was always dramas. Never Skopskiet and Donors, i.e. action.
Brainless action.
Yeah, brainless action. Yeah, it was basically just dramas.
No. I mean, my house was horror, thriller, sci-fi, whatever.
We did do a bit of thriller, but very mainstream, boring stuff.
I mean, my mom was very big into, like, Stephen King and Clive Cussler.
Yeah.
And...
Well, my mom was as well, but she didn't wear the pants in the family.
No. Which is good, because I don't think your brother's pants would fit her.
Oh, ha, you're very funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, yeah, these, so most of these are modern, post-2000, so you might have seen them.
Well, having a quick glance, I have seen some of them.
But some of them are also very niche, shall we say.
Yeah.
Well, not very niche, just slightly off topic. I mean, anime is not a big thing.
No.
In this country.
No.
I mean, I mostly got into anime because of the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, cool.
Saturday, 12 o'clock at night, they used to run anime movies or anime series.
I'm aware.
And I used to set the VHS to record it and then watched it first thing in the morning.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome until they started showing hentai.
Oh. Oops.
Yeah. How they got away with showing hentai on Sci-Fi Channel is beyond me, but they did.
Well, it's almost like our ETV that after a certain time at night.
Yeah, very much.
It was...
softcore porn.
Yeah, very basic, very yucky porn.
Yeah, softcore porn. Yeah, but I mean, it was very weird. Because Sci-Fi Channel doesn't normally go like super adult content.
No,
and then all of a sudden, 12 o'clock, and you've got a hentai going on.
Oh my word.
Especially since I used to sit there and watch these with my mother.
Oh.
So that was an experience.
Yikes. Your mom couldn't have been impressed.
Meh. She was actually okay with it. She would just walk out and say this is not for her.
Okay.
She had a boy before, my brother.
True.
But anyways, the clicking and clacking on my bones. Crickety cracking. I don't do yoga so much as when I do yoga, it sounds like I've fallen into a ball pit with all the pops going on.
Sound like bubble wrap.
Yeah. A hippopotamus in a bubble wrap factory.
I like that.
All grunting and popping for hours on end, just trying to get out the chair. Okay, so tier 2. I suppose I better explain what an iceberg is.
Yes.
I did explain it in the first one, so if you're so inclined to listen to me ramble on with my wife humoring me for 2 hours, go watch the first one. But if you want this set of time with my wife humoring me, you can listen to this one. So, an iceberg, theory, it's, with an iceberg, there is more below water than there is atop water. So, or above water. And you only see the top part.
Yeah.
So that's the most common part that you would see.
Yeah.
And as the further down you get, the less common it is. The more obscure. And the more likely somebody is to make crap up because there's very few people that would have seen it. And you just go, meh, I haven't seen that.
Like Nazis in space.
Like Nazis in space. I actually saw a YouTube video recently. It was talking about that movie. It was like the long forgotten movie. It was bad.
It was forgotten for a reason.
Yeah, it was. That movie couldn't be made today.
Oh, hell no.
It was just that bad.
I still love
It was the best comedy I've seen in years.
It wasn't meant to be a comedy.
That doesn't matter. It definitely was one of those. It was so bad that it was funny.
Yeah. My favorite part is the high heel used as a weapon.
Yeah. I've seen that done in a couple places, but it was still... I mean, the Nazi chick wandering around in high heels.
Yeah. I was... What?
I mean, it gets even weirder when you think the moon has less gravity than Earth. And they were all walking around quite nicely.
Yeah.
As if they were on, let's say, random planet Earth.
That could be fun, though, bouncing around in high heels.
I think you'd break your ankle.
Oh, probably. Still be cool, though.
Most people struggle to walk in high heels. Now you want to bunny hop around in high heels.
Yeah.
That reminds me. Have you seen the milk crate challenge?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my word.
If you want to do that and you want to hurt yourself, I mean, people are doing that now. It's like kids are always stupid. And when I was a kid, we did lots of stupid stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that it's mostly because of social media that it's spreading so much.
Nah.
But I mean, in school, we used to... you'd find out something that one kid was doing in a different school, and then everybody in your school would try it. And...
Yeah, or somebody's older brother did it or recommended it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's just more visible now than it's always been.
I think parents are getting to see a lot more of the nonsense that kids get up to.
And I think parents tend to forget how naughty they were as kids.
Oh, yes, very much.
I was a perfect student when I was in school, chiseling away on my stone tablets, doing my maths lessons. You, however, are a naughty little... So, yeah. Yes, want to adjust something quickly? That should be a bit better.
Am I spiking again?
We were both spiking. Spike! We're not playing... Well, what's it? It's not table tennis. It is volleyball. That has a move called spike.
Oh. I thought you were going to start talking about vampires.
No. We can talk about the British vampire if you want.
No, let's not go into that.
Oi, mate! I want to suck your blood. Blimey!
You do the Scottish accent so well.
I wasn't Scottish.
Oh
It's like the amount of people like, no, your Irish accent's perfect. Thank you? It's meant to be Scottish, but yeah, I'll take the win where I can. I just make crap up as I go along. Anyway, back to the milk crate challenge. I was actually watching one where this chick did it in high heels. Like, nailed it in high heels.
Oh, my
I
word.
was like, I'm truly impressed. That was stupid and probably would have gone very wrong very
Yeah.
quickly, but she did the whole thing
Oh, my word.
in
You
high
go,
heels.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
But then right afterwards, I watched a fail compilation.
Oh.
Many hospital visits.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think people are getting seriously hurt doing that.
Is it any different than any other stupid thing kids do?
No, not at all, but it's quite dangerous.
It is. When my brother was younger, he broke his ankle skateboarding.
Yeah,
So my dad took him to the orthopedic surgeon.
yeah.
And the orthopedic surgeon was like, if he could, he would go to every school and hand out free skateboards. Drum up some business.
I love that.
So, I mean, for our generation, it was very much rollerblades and skateboards.
Yeah.
And BMXing to a degree.
Yeah, I remember roller skates and getting serious road rash.
Rollerblades or roller skates?
Blades, sorry. And getting some serious road rash.
I'm actually surprised that didn't last longer.
Yeah, me too. Although I saw some for sale the other day somewhere. I was like, wow, imagine if that makes a comeback.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you look at like the X Games, they still have them.
Yeah?
But you hear more about BMX and skateboarding these days.
Yeah, true.
11 minutes in and we have barely spoken about sci-fi. Although we spoke about the Sci-Fi Channel.
I don't know. I mean, imagine doing the milk crate challenge in zero gravity.
Well, it wouldn't be that much of a challenge.
Oh, good point. Try stay on the crates
Yes, that could be a bit of a challenge.
without floating around.
But the crates are going to be floating around as well.
Oh, good point. Never mind.
But it is the RandomShtuff podcast, so us going on a tangent and talking about random stuff.
Stuff.
Although somebody did recommend that we should do a horror tier list,
Oh, I'd love that.
which we
Remember,
can do.
I'm the horror buff. I'm not a sci-fi fundi.
She speaks heathen words.
No,
Heathen!
you're the sci-fi.
Heathen!
I'm the horror.
Heathen!
A little bit.
Yes.
But that's why I'm married to you, so that you can teach me
You
and
just,
train me.
you just get this blank look of like deer in the headlights when I start talking sci-fi. Just sort of nod with that. Yes, dear. Uh-huh. Yes,
no,
dear.
I don't.
I understand.
Well,
Yes,
it
dear.
depends how obscure you go.
Yes, dear. I understand.
Yes, dear.
I've watched more horror movies than you've watched sci-fi movies.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
But anyways, I mean, it's not like I'm against horror movies.
No, there's some of them that you quite enjoy, as far as I know.
Yeah, but most of them get boring these days. Especially sort of the hype train horror movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had Final Destination, then Saw, then Insidious.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, the first movie was okay. Why did we need 67?
Yeah. It's like with Final Destination, it ended so beautifully on number 5 that it's like, what are they going to do with number 6? Is it going to be a brand new story that doesn't really relate to the others like number 2 did?
It kind of did.
Number 2?
Yeah.
No.
It had Claire Rivers in it, so it related to the first one.
I guess, yeah.
And articles about all the guys from the first one.
What am I thinking of number 3?
No, you're thinking of number 5.
No, the roller coaster one, I think.
Yeah, that's number 3.
Yeah. Now, that one doesn't join in very much.
It does, because it's her younger sister. The camera that the chickie uses is her sister's camera. And the sister was in the first one, I think.
No.
Okay.
The only correlation is when she and the guy that are survivors for a while at least.
You do realize that doing quotation marks around your survivors doesn't translate into audio.
Oops.
You can wave your hands around as much as you want. It doesn't change anything. I see it, and that's about it.
Well, as long as you understand.
Yeah. But there is an audience.
Hello, audience.
Yes. So, say ubu.
Ooh.
No, ubu.
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 Boop boop?
No.
What the
Ubu.
Oh, uwu.
Yes.
What's uwu?
It's a cute noise that anime girls make.
Oh, I'm not an anime girl.
Well, but you're a voice on the internet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Better?
I don't know. There were some people that wanted me to go do the whole uwu thing.
Oh my word.
Just because it would be funny, because of the deep voice.
It would be funny.
Well, I just did it half a dozen times.
Good point.
So,
There you
consider
go.
that request checked off the list.
There we go. All done.
Well, talking about movies that come out way after the series has ended, saw the new Matrix trailer called Matrix 4.
I heard that was coming out.
I am not convinced. I don't know.
I suppose it's one of those that remains to be seen.
Very much. I mean, watching a trailer is like they take the best parts of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That could just be the only good parts in the movie.
Yeah, I've seen
And then
that
the rest-
happen several times.
It's happened more and more these days.
Yeah,
And, I mean, Matrix is one of my favorite movies.
of all time.
Of all time. Which I think is in this tier as well.
Ooh, yes, it is.
So, it is actually relevant to the topic at hand.
Yay!
15 minutes in and we got there. It was a winding, meandering path. A journey for the ages. But in the end, our valiant duo made it to the goal.
And then Sam saved the day.
And that, Sam?
I'm thinking Lord of the Rings.
Samwise Gamgee, the true hero of Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure you want to say that on the internet, but he is the true hero.
Ha, that's fantasy. Psh, we're doing sci-fi. It's fine. Okay, so, yeah, Matrix 4. I'm quietly optimistic about it, but I'll temper my expectations.
Yeah, I think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Well, 2 and 3 were progressively worse than 1.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, they could have left that at 1 and it still would have been just the most awesome movie ever. But if I look at, was it Independence Day? Came out same year, I think. Many, many years ago.
I think so.
And that was an awesome movie. It is also one of my top sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
And Independence Day 2.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a 2.
Mm.
Oh,
It doesn't have Will Smith in it. It's got some of the other guys in it, but it's... I would honestly say Battle Los Angeles is a better sequel to Independence Day than Independence Day 2.
Okay. I can see how that would fit in.
To me, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, Battle Los Angeles is more of the gritty, like the first.
Yes.
The second one was just pandering.
Yeah, very much.
So,
I heard it was somewhere. Where did I hear it?
probably on the internet.
Yeah, but where on the internet? I don't follow sci-fi stuff.
I don't know.
Maybe I heard it from you.
I can barely remember what I've done on the internet.
Well, you have uploaded how many videos by now?
And 5? Maybe and 6.
Yeah, I think let's go with 6. Yeah, I can't make that sound as well as you can.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
Really?
It's better than doing it for a death.
Ha ha. Very funny. It's okay, I'll stick to my numbers for a living.
Okay. 1, 1, 1. Lost count.
Are you mocking me?
No, I would never, ever, 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 ever not mock you.
I was about to say many will believe you, but I don't.
Oh, you can hear the sincerity in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I would never make a joke at your expense.
Mm-hmm.
I would never laugh at you.
Mm-hmm. Until I fall over a step and crash on the floor.
Slapstick humor is... So, yeah, okay, so that's Matrix. Yeah, it is my favorite movie of all time.
It's good.
I mean,
it is really, really good.
As far as I know, it's the first... What was it? There's an anime. I can't remember what it was called. Very similar.
Yeah.
And it was based off of Akira and a couple other animes that had heavy influences.
Oh, wow.
But there is an actual anime that was released before The Matrix, which is the Matrix, basically.
Oh, wow. Cool.
But it's basically just the simulation theory.
Yeah. Bye.
It's an upset dog.
Oh, he's going to catch nuffies.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically just the simulation theory with a plot.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a big thing when it came out. I think everybody liked A, the action, and B, Trinity in really tight clothing.
Yes, I'm sure that made a difference.
Yes. That first scene where she just goes all kung fu on them.
Yeah.
Because that was like basically the trailer at the time. It was like that section.
Yeah.
And so everybody was like, oh my god, because that did the bullet time thing.
Yes.
And I was like, oh crap, that's fun. Gonna watch that.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole movie was filled with nice stuff. Explosions and shooting and monsters.
TNA.
Oh, not particularly huge. Because it was like...
No, it wasn't really.
But yeah. And 2 and 3 were less and less interesting.
Yeah.
So
3 I didn't actually enjoy at all.
No. I mean, it closed the story off, but it was like,
Yeah, it dragged out really, really badly.
Yeah. I mean, there was also the games and the Animatrix and a comic, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, if they just kept it at the first one, it would have been cool.
Mm.
And, the second one could have been something, after the war or after the peace.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't have to go into that much detail.
No.
But I think that I liked about the first one is there was more practical effects with CGI to assist that, but the 2 and 3 had more CGI.
Yeah, and less actual special effects and acting. And
that's why I think the first one has aged a lot better than 2 and 3.
Oh, yes. That makes sense.
Any movie that you see with the practical effects tend to age better.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching The Thing, the 1982 thing with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
That one with the organism that becomes the host.
Oh, yes.
But it turns into these weird monsters.
Yes.
But that was all practical. And you look at it today and you're like, yeah, it's a bit corny, but it's still,
it
awesome.
holds up, yeah.
It holds up a lot better than a lot of the CGI.
Jaws 2 and Jaws 3. Oh my word, the special effects are terrible. I think it was number 3 where they've got a leg that's supposed to have been chomped off by the shark, and it looks literally like a picture of a leg on a stick that they just whoop, whoop, whoop past the camera.
Yeah, but I mean, they like to say that they don't do this these days, but they do. They have a hit, and then they try to get out as many to ride off the wave of the popularity.
Yeah, for sure.
And you just drop the budget because less people are going to go see it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's why horror films are so prolific, is they're so cheap to make.
Yeah.
Because mainstream actors don't act in horror films, for the most part.
Number 1 and number 2, very much, it's often got a very small world.
Yeah.
So it's easy to keep the budget down because you don't have
it's
to
in
go.
a room, it's in a car, it's...
Exactly.
So, I mean, especially when you start going with, like, your found footage stuff.
Yeah.
But most of your horrors, that's what made Blumhouse so rich. Like, Saw 1 was one room.
Yeah.
3 actors.
Yeah.
Plus the cutscenes out.
Yeah.
But most of it was just 3 actors.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's no insane planning, like blocking off streets to record.
Yeah.
And
you can just do it on a sound.
Yeah.
So the costs are quite low.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to make hundreds of millions or billions of dollars off of it to make your money back.
No.
I mean, you look at the Avengers films. Yes, they're the top grossing films, but they're also the top costing films.
Yeah.
And cost them $500 million.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine how much Avengers 1 costed.
Cost.
My bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know Deadpool had the record for the most profit made.
Okay.
Because it only cost $40 million to make.
Oh, wow.
And it broke the $1 billion barrier.
No, I think the ratio is Paranormal Activity.
No, I'm talking about action.
Oh, okay.
But Paranormal Activity didn't break $1 billion.
No, but if you take the percentage profit,
yeah,
it's the most profitable movie ever. Because the budget was like 40,
I would have
50,000.
said Blair Witch Project.
No, it actually surpassed Blair Witch.
But didn't they spend a lot of money advertising it?
No, not at all. What they did have to do is run around and ask all the studios, Universal, blah blah blah, to try and get them interested to actually release the movie. Distribute. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh. But I mean, not Daredevil. Really not Daredevil. Deadpool. I think it was one of the first movies to break the 1 billion barrier.
Oh wow! I believe it though. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, it was so unexpected, and everybody was just like, "Yep, this is the kind of superhero movie I want to watch."
Yeah, very much.
And he wasn't as popular of the character as he is now.
No.
But then none of the Avengers were.
No.
But we're talking about the previous tier stuff now. We're talking about Marvel.
Oops.
Dun dun dun.
Oops.
Shall we try and get to some of the stuff? Well, and we've done Matrix.
We've done Matrix.
So that's one.
Yeah.
Stargate.
Okay, so Stargate I actually really enjoy. And what was cool is that it used to...
But you didn't watch the original movie.
No, probably not. But what was cool is it used to show in the afternoons. So I used to watch it after school before parents got home.
Okay. I think I watched like 4 or 5 seasons. Because then I started working and just ran out of time and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched like all of it. I don't know.
I've never watched all of it.
I think
it was
10
very
seasons.
much... Jeez. That's quite prolific.
Yeah, it ran for quite a while. But then you also have like Stargate Atlantis, Stargate, the other one. The one where they're on a ship.
Oh,
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then I think there was another one, and there's a couple movies.
Okay. I don't think I've watched any of the movies, just series.
The movies just kind of is like TV movies. They continue on the series.
Okay.
Other than the first one.
Okay.
Because the first one was a blockbuster.
Yeah.
And that spawned the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then, I think it was several years after that, they started doing because it was quite popular when the movie came out.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
What do you think if I go and look back for those movies now and watch it? Do you think I should?
If you want to.
Because I really enjoyed it.
Well, the first movie, you probably find. Because, I mean, that's how they find the Stargate, how they translated the Chevron, all the beginning stuff that wasn't really in
the series.
The first, because in the series it starts off that they already have the Stargate and know how to use it.
Yes.
Whereas the movie is where they found it, how they translated it, and then their first journey out.
I'd really like to watch that. The only problem is that if you go back and look at some of those movies now, your older movies, you're often very disappointed.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have the nostalgia factor for the movie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You can try watch it if you don't enjoy it, then
yeah,
it's one of those things.
Maybe I must give it a shot.
Predator.
I love Predator.
Predator.
I actually prefer Predator to Alien.
Well, heathen.
No, Predator's cool.
Xenomorph gang, stand up. Rise up!
No.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, Predator 1 was cool. Predator 2 was less cool.
Meh.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've redone it 3 times now.
Good grief.
Predator became prolific because of the crossovers.
Yes.
Dark Horse Comics.
No. Comics.
Yeah. The lore is extensive for both xenomorphs and predators.
Oh, wow.
In the comics. No, it wasn't Dark Horse.
Oh, wow.
Which was subprint of DC.
Yeah.
But they focused on like TV or movie type stuff.
Yeah.
So they had lots of crossovers between xenomorphs and, Aliens vs. Predator was a comic first.
Oh, my word.
Well, the idea was a comic first.
Oh, cool.
And then
I didn't even realize it was comics. I thought it was just movies that they put out there.
Well, the original were movies, and then Dark Horse bought the rights to it.
Okay.
There are comics places that do it now.
Okay.
I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer has tons of graphic novels and comics related to it.
Yes.
Firefly, you've seen?
Yes. I still desperately want to get the comics and the books.
Yeah, but they'll see a popular IP and go buy it and then continue it.
Would Firefly be considered sci-fi?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a sci-fi nut.
It's a space. I'm a sci-fi nut. I've watched one series that I really enjoy.
Yeah, but I watched it several times.
That doesn't quite make you a sci-fi nut. That just makes you a Firefly nut.
True. I wish they'd bring it back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was the movie that kind of supposedly finished it off, but not really.
There's so many questions that were left unanswered.
Yeah. What I like is there's a theory. Because Josh Whedon is the director, writer, something.
Okay.
Of Firefly.
Okay.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, wow.
And Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, wow.
So there's this crazy conspiracy theory that they're all in the same universe.
Oh, my word.
And it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer first.
Okay.
And you got the Watcher organization.
Okay.
They keep the secrets and
keep
it from the public, right?
Yeah.
At the end of... Spoiler alert. At the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the town gets axed, destroyed.
Oh, wow.
But then you go to Cabin in the Woods, where you've got this organization that are hiding the ancient evils.
Yeah.
This weird organization.
Okay.
Which could be the Watcher group.
Yeah.
And then they're using people as sacrifices to satiate the...
Yes.
And then in the far future, when we've gone to space, the baddies in Firefly are the Watcher group.
Oh, my word.
With extended authority.
That's cool. That's a good theory.
Yeah. It's probably all but...
Yeah.
It's nice to think about.
It is.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Who hasn't watched that?
You'd probably be surprised.
Okay. I saw on Facebook an amazing tattoo design for Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh.
It was stunning.
I think the Little Shop of Horrors became popular because of Tim Curry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because that was a remake.
Oh.
Yeah. You say who hasn't watched it, but have you watched the original? Did you even know it was a remake?
No, I didn't.
The first one I don't think was a musical.
Okay.
But the one you're thinking of had Dean Martin, which is a very big comedian.
Okay.
And Tim Curry was the voice of the plant.
Yeah.
The shopkeeper was also a comedian. I can't remember his name.
Oh, my word.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Oh, cool.
And the chickie was, I think she also starred in Grease. I think.
Yes, she did. Can't remember her name now.
Well, whatever. So it was a lot of comedians. It was and the sing along and.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's also the same sort of time frame as Transylvania, not Transylvania.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, which also had Tim Curry in it.
Yes, that I did know.
He's just got one of those distinctive voices.
Yeah, can't miss him.
It had Meatloaf in it.
Yes, that I did know. On the motorbike.
And the hunchback dude, he wrote all the music. He's actually not an actor.
Oh, wow.
He was a music writer.
Oh,
so
my word.
he wrote all the music.
Oh, that is so cool. Awesome.
So, yeah, Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah. I don't think I could watch it today.
No, definitely not. It'll look ridiculous.
Well, it looks ridiculous and it's stupidly corny.
It is.
Yeah. Mass Effect.
No idea what that is.
It is a game series.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Oh, you're helpful.
Contrary to popular belief, I have not consumed every bit of sci-fi media in existence.
Oh, my word.
For me, it very much depends on when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've had bouts of my life where it's just I didn't have time.
Yeah.
I either didn't have time or money.
Yeah.
It normally works one way or the other. There's not a happy medium.
No, there never is.
So I think when the Mass Effect games came out, I think, still playing WoW
Okay.
or working.
Oh, yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So, almost like now, but working at a corporate job, which is soul-destroying.
Oh, so rough.
Because I would leave at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'd get back at 7 o'clock at night.
That's insane.
Just because of both traffic and work.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get much time. So I think when the first 1 and 2, because there's 3, 4 of them.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen them again, and it was like, I haven't played the first one, so I don't really want to play 2 and 3.
No.
And then I was like, well, there's so many other games to play.
Yeah.
So I just never gotten around to playing them.
Yeah.
One of them things.
Okay.
I know there was, 1 was very good, 2 was, according to the internet, complete.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
Or it was 3. One of them, that's just like a shit show. They've just released it for money.
Oh, my word. I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, well, it's happening more and more. Depends on the company. That's, I think, why indie games are becoming much more of a thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I noticed Congregate is busier than ever.
Last time I looked at Congregate, it was dying.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's been years since I was on Congregate. And then yesterday when I went on there was some new things that just
Flash
looked
games.
amazing.
Well, I mean, Flash is dead.
Mm?
So it becomes a bit difficult running a Flash website if Flash goes away.
Yeah, very much.
Especially seeing as most of these guys can just release on Steam now. Steam is a million times easier to release on.
True.
And if you're going to develop for Steam, then just do that.
Yeah, good point.
Because with Flash, there wasn't an easy way to make it executable, like a normal game.
Yes.
You had to use a wrapper.
Yes.
So a bit of software that sort of emulated Flash environment.
It's still got that.
Yeah.
One of the games I was trying to play.
But I mean, that's what you had to do to get it on Steam.
Oh.
Because you released it as Flash. But if you're a developer and you want longevity and money, because money's good, then you release it on Steam. So you develop it for Steam.
That makes sense.
Instead of Flash.
Yeah.
Because Flash is dead. Why would you want to learn Flash?
Good point. Very good point.
For longevity.
Yeah.
As I'm going to learn Flash this weekend. Fine. But you're not going to become a professional Flash developer because it's no longer a thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I'm seeing more and more of these small games that you would see on Congregate and any other Flash games like Newgrounds and all of that.
Yeah.
On
Steam. Cool.
I mean, and also your Flash animations are now on YouTube.
Yeah.
So Newgrounds, which used to have like all Flash stuff, now it's...
Well, I know when Adobe Flash stopped working or Acrobat Flash stopped working in South Africa, our tax department, SARS, they had an absolute meltdown and half their system crashed, and they've eventually come out with their own browser so that they can get those parts that were affected, can get those correct.
Which is stupid because Adobe said 2 years beforehand.
Yeah.
On this date, we're stopping.
31st of December, we're stopping. Yeah.
So,
SARS had plenty of warning. But I mean, for about a month, it was an absolute crisis.
It's a government department. What do you expect?
Good point.
Okay, X-Files. Dumb.
I loved X-Files. It was one of the few sci-fi programs that we were allowed to watch.
I think this, X-Files really does skirt that line. I would have called it more of a horror than a sci-fi.
Yeah. No, I would call it more sci-fi than horror.
I mean, there's a bunch... I mean, the aliens thing, but...
Yeah.
The most of the paranormal stuff would have been like...
Yeah,
horror-ish.
true.
I mean, also the way they filmed it and everything was more dark sci-fi / horror than it was sci-fi.
Yeah, true.
Or thriller, even.
No, I wouldn't label it as a thriller.
I suppose it changes from episode to episode.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, I haven't even watched all of it.
No, neither have I.
Same thing again, as we watched it religiously in the household, and then life happens, and then you kind of lose touch, and you're like,
And if you go back, I mean, I tried
Well,
to
we
go
couldn't.
back and it was just,
By the time they re-released it,
yeah, it was just,
you just like
ridiculous.
years later, and you're like, there's other stuff to watch.
yeah, very much.
I mean, when you lose or miss a month, obviously, that's why I liked Netflix in the beginning, because you could just watch the entire series.
Yes.
You didn't have to wait. You could just binge the entire series.
Yeah.
And that's that. That was great. That's
Yeah.
the way I prefer to consume content.
Yeah, no, me too.
Because life always gets in the way if you have to come back every week at this time, every time.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
And I think in the earlier X-Files, you can miss an episode because they were quite standalone.
Yes.
But the later ones became like continuations and subplots and overarching stories.
Oh,
and
yeah, very much.
you callbacks to previous episodes and all of that. So if you haven't watched the previous episode, you could be very lost.
Yeah.
There was a movie, three movies.
2 movies that I know of.
And then Mulder disappeared.
Yes. And after that, it just got really stupid.
Yeah. Well, I think there was just a limited amount of life in that story.
Yeah, very much.
One that I actually enjoyed was it had a spin-off series called The Lone Gunman.
Okay.
In the X-Files, he goes and speaks to this group. It's like 3 guys
Okay.
that release a newspaper, but they're conspiracy theorists
Okay.
to the world.
Yeah.
But they are like Mulder.
Oh, my word.
And he uses them as informants.
Oh, cool.
And they got their own spin-off series.
Okay.
It only lasted like 1 season. Which
Yeah.
it was like a procedural type series for spooky ghosts and, is this true? And
Yeah.
basically like the X-Files, but with 3 guys.
Okay.
That was quite amusing.
That does sound good.
Doom unto you!
I actually really enjoyed it.
Rip and tear till it is done.
Okay.
Rip
And then?
and tear
And then?
till it is done.
And then?
Do it again. Obviously. Get a bigger gun.
I actually really enjoyed Doom.
Yes. When I get my new computer, which should be soon, hopefully, I want to play Doom Eternal, which is the latest one.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Although, you didn't really take to the last one.
2016, I finished it.
Oh. I thought you...
Finished it.
Cool.
Just, it didn't finish it soon.
Yeah.
Because I had that Doom Isekai that I did. And for the background video for that, it was before I was doing scrolling text.
Oh.
I played through the game.
Oh, yes, I remember that. I remember that.
So, yeah. I mean, I think I played every single Doom. Even the crappy 2001.
Okay.
Doom 2K. Doom. Okay, every single PC version of Doom, should I say. Because there are a million. Doom, the original one, and Doom 2, there's like a million versions.
Oh, my word.
The Xbox version, the Game Boy version,
Bliksem.
because they eventually released the code.
Oh, wow.
It's something that ID Software did, which was very counterintuitive for both Doom and Quake.
Yeah.
I think it was a year or 2 years after the release of the game, they released the code. The full code.
My word.
So people could mod it or do whatever they wanted with it.
That's insane.
Which, I mean, for today's age, it actually just adds longevity to the game.
Very much.
I mean, I remember playing the Doom 2 on JDoom, which was, they took the 3D engine from Quake and they put it into Doom.
Okay.
So you could play Doom 2 with all the stuff from Quake 3.
Oh, wow.
The graphics and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But they could only do that because they had access to all the code.
Yeah.
But now companies got their code. You're getting less and less programs that are moddable.
Yeah.
Which I think is unfortunate.
It is. Because I find that often there'll be one little mod that'll make it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah. And it adds longevity. You play a game through, like in vanilla.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, let's add this mod. It's going to make it more difficult.
Yeah.
Add this mod. It's going to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And you play through it again and again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think some developers are learning that, enabling mods is good.
Yeah.
Um,
I can understand being against it, though.
Not really. You've already got the money from the game to purchase the game.
Yeah, but you don't really want somebody messing with what you've done.
It's a company. What they want is money.
Good point.
So, I mean, if it was an indie developer, I could maybe take that argument. But for big games, it's like, well, you just want money.
Yeah.
So if you want your product to last as long as possible. For instance, Skyrim, which is a game I have not played. I played it for half an hour. It just didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
But that was when it first released, which was in a broken state.
Oh, no.
A lot of quests didn't work, the graphics was crap, and all of that.
Oh.
And over the last 10 years, modders, or however long it's been out, modders have gone in and fixed every single bug.
Oh,
They've
wow.
redone the graphics to 4K graphics.
Oh, wow.
For free. They just did this crap.
Did it for the sake of doing?
Yeah.
Oh, my word, that's so cool.
So you can download the original game, and then there's like a core pack that you can download, which will fix everything.
Yeah.
And then change the textures to higher res textures.
Oh, my word, that's so cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what's kept Skyrim going,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is the ease that is modded.
Yes. That is awesome.
I mean, Doom 2 is still being played, and I think that's also part of the reason.
Yeah.
Because it was modded. I mean, Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, you can't mod that.
Oh, bugger.
But ID Software got bought out, I think. So, a lot of your small games companies did.
I was about to say it did disappear into obscurity.
Well, I mean, after Quake 3, they didn't really have... They had Quake 4, which was a flop, and then Doom 4.
Okay.
Doom 3, which is Doom 2000,
Okay.
I think. And that didn't do great.
Ah.
And Duke Nukem.
Yes, I enjoyed that one.
But then they remade that one, and that didn't do great either.
No, that was amazing. That one I remember.
No, I think there are certain games that when you remake them, there's just so many expectations, like Duke Nukem. There were such high expectations for that game that it becomes virtually impossible to make a game for it. I mean, the game that they made was shit if you just took it as a standalone game.
Yeah.
But as a Duke Nukem game, it's like, Interesting side note, Duke Nukem 1 and 2 were platformers.
Oh my word.
Duke Nukem 3D was actually the third one.
Oh my word, that's so cool. I did not know that.
And Duke Nukem's not even on the list. Aliens. Aliens.
Aliens. I
Which
love aliens.
I'm going to take a wild stab as the Alien franchise, not Aliens. Aliens.
Movie.
Yeah, well, Aliens is the sequel.
Yeah. Second movie.
Xenomorphs, basically. The Xenomorph universe.
Yeah.
And not just aliens in general.
No.
Because that would be all of sci-fi, or at least most of sci-fi.
Yeah. Then there wouldn't be much to talk about.
Well, we could just spend the entire episode just talking about that.
Okay, then let's talk about the aliens in... Oh my gosh, what's that movie's name? Evolution?
Yeah, yes.
Yes. The one with the puppy.
That is also one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
I love that movie.
Even though it's just ridiculous.
It's beyond ridiculous.
But it's like Ghostbusters. It's just ridiculous and fun.
Yeah.
You just don't need to think about it. Just don't think about it.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Just go with the goofballness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a franchise and a half, Alien. Because there's
and then some.
4, 5 movies.
Yes.
Directly in
with
the Alien.
Prometheus.
No, without Prometheus. 4 movies.
Okay.
Alien, Aliens, Alien Resurrection, and Alien 4. Whatever the hell it was called.
Okay.
Which was like, well, they killed her in the third one, and then they cloned her in the fourth one.
Yes.
This is when it's starting to get a bit silly.
Yeah, it got ridiculous.
Then you've got Aliens vs. Predator 1 and 2.
Yes.
And then you got Prometheus 1 and 2.
Oh, I didn't know there was a second one.
Second one's me.
Oh.
Prometheus 1 was okay.
Okay.
Wasn't an
I
alien
enjoyed
movie.
it.
It wasn't an alien movie.
No, it wasn't an alien movie, but it was enjoyable.
If you don't think about it as a part of the alien universe.
Yeah, no, you
and
can't.
you wonder how a bunch of scientists could be that stupid to do all the that they did.
Good point.
You know, they selected the best of the world, the brightest, the most dumb to walk into a cave and lick the walls, whatever the hell they did. And, don't touch random stuff.
Yeah.
Should be like rule 1.
Yeah.
Oh, let me take my glove off and my mask. I don't need that. Oh,
Yeah.
look, some moving stuff. Let me prod it with my finger. Just like, yes, very professional. Believable.
Yeah, very much. Oh my word.
I mean, the captain should have just been like, nope, and just nope the out. That's
Yeah.
what any
Oh yeah.
because of the captain's responsibility to keep his crew safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if the sponsor is telling him that he...
Yeah.
Because the sponsor was Charlize Theron.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is South African.
You go.
Meh. Just one of the few South Africans that have made it in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Although apparently she doesn't like to be reminded about that.
No, she wants nothing to do with South Africa. Apparently with the 2010 Soccer World Cup, she didn't want to come back to South Africa to have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Mm.
Each to their own.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, she's the sponsor. But
Yeah.
it's the captain's responsibility to keep everyone safe.
Yeah.
So, first sign of shenanigans, you're in a
God.
spaceship,
Yeah.
go into orbit.
Yeah.
Figure it out there.
Yeah. Get off the planet.
Yeah. Don't send people back into the place that's causing crap.
Yeah. It's just stupid.
Well, I suppose if they weren't stupid, it wouldn't make for a very interesting movie.
Good point.
Oh, look, let's just nuke this planet, and then we'll explore it. End of story. I think that what upset people the most
Yeah.
was they were told that Prometheus was a prequel.
Yes.
So you assumed that the planet that they were going to was the planet that Ripley went to.
Yeah. But it was.
Wasn't?
Oh. It was. They found her... Oh no, they couldn't have.
No, it would have been before Ripley.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
that wasn't the planet that was in the original movie,
No, it wasn't.
which is what everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh, bugger.
And then it was just like really stupid stuff happening.
Yeah, it was doof.
Dolph is stupid in Afrikaans.
Sorry.
Dolph.
Doof.
Doff. Dolph.
No, just one
No,
F.
that's how you pronounce it. Dolph.
Yeah.
You gotta...
You gotta do the Afrikaans.
It's not Dolph.
No.
It's Dolph. So I suppose DORF would be a better pronunciation. Dolph.
Maybe.
If you don't speak
Yeah,
Afrikaans.
yeah.
If you had to learn it phonetically.
Dorf.
Dorf. Okay. And what do we get? Starcraft.
Don't know much about it.
Be careful with your next words. They could end a marriage.
I like the pretty limited edition boxes you got it in.
I suppose that's fair enough. StarCraft was massive. It was one of
It was
my
huge.
most played games as a teenager. StarCraft and then the expansion,
Mm-hmm.
which is Kerrigan. And then StarCraft 2. I wasn't disappointed with StarCraft 2. However, what I was disappointed was I knew when it was coming out because they announced it way ahead of us. I pre-ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
I pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
And for 2 months before the release, on the whiteboard in my office, where I was working in a corporate environment then, on the top of it, I put a countdown that said, time until StarCraft release. And I had the number of days.
Oh my word.
And people were like, well, why do you have that there? I said, because in that number of days, I'm taking a week off and you can all off. I'm playing StarCraft that week.
I love that.
The company can burn. I don't give a shit. You just leave me alone for that week. So, I mean, I was all prepped. I was ready. My computer could, and all of that. So I get it. I downloaded it, and my computer couldn't run it.
Oh,
There was some glitch with the original one that my computer couldn't run it, even though I met the requirements for it.
Yeah.
So there was some bug or something.
Yeah.
So I had the week off, and I couldn't play the damn game.
Oh no. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I didn't have internet. That was another big problem. The place where I was staying didn't have internet. So getting a hold of a patch was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh my word. That's horrible.
Yeah. Well,
Although you've had very bad history with releases.
yeah, well, I think everybody has.
True.
Releases are an event which you will almost always be disappointed with.
That's sad.
We live in an age where you can just flip a switch and download the update.
Yeah.
So you can ship out an unfinished module.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you start shipping a month before the release date.
True.
So you've got a month's worth of work that you can still do to fix bugs and stuff. Problem is that is just becoming... there are plenty of games that come up with 0-day patches that are the size of the game.
Oh my word.
Which, back in the day, for us,
Yeah.
that wasn't happening
No.
because internet was just too expensive to go download games and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my word.
So you go buy a game thinking that, well, I can just play this game.
Yeah.
And then it's like, nope, it's broken. You need to download gigs worth of data.
Oh, no. Oh, that's insane.
But I eventually finished it. I got all 3 of the expansions.
Yeah.
And I finished them all.
Awesome. Very
So,
cool.
yeah, that was a bit of an annoying week.
I would have lost it.
Yeah. I mean, I even had one of those, what do you call them?
Yes, the messenger bag.
Messenger bag, a Starcraft messenger bag.
Yeah, it's still somewhere.
Yeah, I used to carry my laptop in it.
Oh, cool.
Well, it is a laptop bag.
It's very pretty.
They released 3 of those, and I got the Zerg one.
Oh, cool.
They had one for the Protoss, and they had one for the Terrans as well.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, so StarCraft. First game that I can remember being a professional esport. I think one of the forefathers of esports, as we know it today.
Word. It makes sense, the way it is.
Well, it wasn't even in the West. It was South Korea.
Oh, my word.
And those areas that
Yeah.
kicked it off. There it became a massive sport. To the point that a bunch of Americans, if they wanted to play that as an esport, they had to move there. Because America, there wasn't enough.
Oh, my word.
So esports didn't start in the West.
No, it didn't. That I do know.
So it was pretty much StarCraft and I think Quake 3 that blazed the way for esports as we have it today.
Yeah.
I think StarCraft is still heavily played in South Korea.
I remember seeing somewhere some championship. Oh, I think it was on the TV while I was gymming. Yeah. And they were talking about StarCraft too.
Yeah. But, I mean, they still play the original.
Yeah.
I mean, with the sport, you got to realize that it only becomes publicly interesting if the public know the rules.
Yeah.
If you don't know the
So
rules to the
true.
game, it's not really that fun to watch. Because,
So true.
I mean, some sports, it is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Mainly because you're just watch somebody hurt themselves. Or you can tell that, doing a triple back somersault is, that's impressive.
Oh my word, I saw the synchronized swimming from this year's Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word, those chicks look demented. The makeup that they do, it's ridiculous. They look like clowns.
Well, they basically are. They're clowning around in the pool.
Good point. And it's interesting now, there's cameras that you can watch what happens under the water. That's fascinating to watch.
Because, I mean, all of the training is so that they keep their body above water, stabilized and everything.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what you do under the water.
Yes.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
So their legs are going all...
Very much.
And they're just, like, hovering in the middle of the air.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, why? Okay.
It's very, very fun to watch.
Once.
Once.
Like one team. One event.
Olympic only comes around so many times.
Yeah, but you're not going to sit there and watch every single team from the preliminaries all the way up to the finals. I would maybe watch the finals.
I did, while I was gymming.
But I don't think you would have watched it would have been a couple hours worth of stuff.
It was basically the highlights.
Well, highlights I could live with.
Yeah. They still look crazy.
Synchronized swimming highlights. And they swam. And they swam some more. Ooh! They're swimming.
Together.
In a circle. Oh my God, Cotton. What a daring maneuver.
Jeez, you're rude.
I am not rude. I'm just sarcastic.
True.
And rude.
I'll give you that one.
Portal.
No idea what that is.
Portal.
Mm-hmm.
It
What
is
is it?
a game.
Okay.
Puzzle game.
Okay.
Very popular.
Okay.
Never played it.
Any idea what it's about?
Yeah, well, I know the basic plot, but the puzzle game is you got a gun with 2 modes, and you can make portals that you can jump through.
Oh, cool.
So you make an entrance portal and an out portal,
Yeah.
but you can put on walls, ceilings, floors, whatever.
Oh, cool.
So if you put like a in portal on the wall,
Yeah.
it's a first-person shooter style game.
Okay.
So you put a portal on the wall and a portal on the floor,
Okay.
and you run into the portal on the wall. You'll come out of the floor at the same velocity.
Oh, my word. Okay.
Or you could go wall or ceiling floor and just keep falling.
Oh
and
my
then shoot
word.
another portal somewhere else, and you come out at that velocity.
Good
So you use
grief.
that mechanic to get from one end of the stage to the other.
Yeah.
So you'd have to plan where you're putting your input portal or where your output portal and how fast you're going into it
But
and
that
what
actually
direction.
sounds fun.
I think there's 2 of them.
That actually sounds like fun.
And it's another one that I kind of just missed and was like, I'll play it someday.
Yeah.
And it just never happened.
Yeah.
I am not entirely sure about the story. There is one, but I couldn't tell you.
Cool. Tell us in the comments below whether it's worthwhile.
Yes. Spoilers in the comments down below. For anybody who hasn't played a 10-year-old game, or however old it is.
Yeah.
I think there should be a limit, like after 10 years. If you haven't seen the movie, then it's tough.
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
agree.
Spoilers shouldn't be called out for 10-year-old movies.
Yeah. Good point.
Because if you really wanted to go watch it, you would have gone and watched it.
True. At that point.
Yeah. Gundam. Pew pew.
Again, no idea.
It is a anime series, manga, and movies, games.
Okay.
It is Jaegers from Pacific Rim.
Oh, yeah?
That sort of concept.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But in space,
Oh, cool.
against various enemies.
That sounds good.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like, it was started in the age of Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Transformers, which were sentient beings by themselves.
Yeah.
It's not the same universe. And then Gundam was mobile suits, so mecha, basically.
Oh, okay.
Which is also Robotech, which the two get confused a lot. I don't see it on the list. But Robotech and Gundam came out at the same sort of time with very similar storylines, which is mechas.
But now, I've actually never heard about Gundam, so should it really be in tier 2?
It wasn't that big in this country.
Okay.
I mean, this is also very country specific, so this would be America.
Yes.
I'm guessing the person who wrote this would be America.
Yeah.
So Gundam wasn't on our channels.
Yeah.
Transformers was.
Yes.
And this would have been before satellite TV.
Oh.
So very limited. We had 3 channels. Sorry.
3.
4. How am I talking about? 3 channels.
Yeah.
And the Gundam was, I mean, even Dragon Ball Z, which I think is later in the thing,
Yeah.
only started showing in like the late 2000s.
Yeah?
And it's from early 90s.
Yes. That I do know.
So we wouldn't have seen it because we didn't have
Oh.
access to that or many channels or that type of content.
Yeah.
They would rather have like Lever Hexy or
Oh, yeah.
Minamu or
Yeah.
all of those kids programs.
Yeah.
And then
Biker mice from From
Mars.
space. Oh, Mars.
Yeah. and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Rather than a Japanese thing, which would probably would be, at that time would have been in Japanese and not translated or subtitled. I'm not sure when it was dubbed.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't remember it ever being on TV. I think Robotech was on TV at some point for a very short period of time.
Okay.
So
Cool.
So, I mean, yes, for us, Gundam is more obscure, but worldwide, I'd say it's more well-known.
Okay.
It's one of the more known mecha stories.
Okay.
Just taking a quick break. Oh my god, we're back.
Uh-oh.
Dum, dum, dum. Where were we? 1984.
I have no idea.
Wasn't that the year you were born? No, you were born in 85.
Uh-huh. My brother was born in 84.
Oh, no. No. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Expand.
1984, the novel.
Oh, the novel. Oh, that wasn't sci-fi.
Well, it was a dystopian future.
It was so not a sci-fi.
It was a dystopian
A
future.
talking pig is not sci-fi.
It's still a dystopian future. Because dystopia is part of sci-fi. Because you're talking about the future. It doesn't necessarily need to be technology.
Yeah, I still wouldn't put it under sci-fi. Although I don't know where one would put it. No idea. Talking pigs.
Don't remember talking pigs, but it's been a while.
I think the pigs were the evil ones.
I think you're talking about another book. As far as I know,
Maybe?
1984 didn't have animals in it.
Oh, okay, then I'm thinking of an entirely different
I think you're thinking of Animal House?
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is in 1984.
Oh, okay, I'm confused.
And 1984 is the dystopian future where the government rules everything. It's basically like the government from V for Vendetta,
Okay.
but cranked up to 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They make the government from V for Vendetta look like a bunch of rank amateurs.
Oh my word.
Ironically enough, I didn't just mention V for Vendetta just for the giggles. There is a link.
Uh-huh.
Main character in 1984, the movie, is Sutter in V for Vendetta.
Oh my word.
Same actor.
Oh, cool.
He was also in Alien.
Oh wow. See, I'm terrible with actors and actor names and what they've played in, what they haven't played in.
He was the unnamed doctor as well.
Oh my word. Okay.
The not doctor.
The
war doctor.
I still haven't watched that episode.
I have no words.
Where must I get the time from? Between
time.
giving you foot massages, doing your washing, making
massages.
coffee for you all the time.
Kneeing me in the spine so that I have spinal freaking bruising for the whole week and have to hobble around like an old man.
I did not kick
That's
you.
not a massage.
Oh. No.
That's a high-impact massage.
Oh, dear.
Thankfully, you only did it once.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't me kicking you.
I think you might, because your knees hurt the next day.
Yeah, but that was from gymming.
Well, you said it hurt more the next day.
True. Maybe.
My back hasn't been this bad. It just suddenly wake up, and it's the worst it's been in 10 years.
It's a pinched nerve.
But
kicking you is not going to pinch your nerve.
Well, it would make it swell up.
I suppose.
I mean, it did take a week to get it kind of under control.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been this bad since I almost fell off the roof.
Oh my word. That's intense.
Or fell off the stepladder. I think I fell off the stepladder after I almost fell off the roof.
No, I remember you almost falling off the roof, rescuing my brother's cat.
Yeah, but falling off the stepladder was one of the jobs I was helping my dad with.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Not a 6-step ladder, a 2-story step ladder.
Ouch.
One of those big ones. Well, no, was it? That would be 4-meter step ladder, I think. 3-meter step ladder.
That's quite a fall.
Yep. And I fell from the top.
Ow.
Because if you're going to fall, might as well do it from the top.
Yeah, do it properly. Kill yourself,
All
maim
things
yourself.
considered, landing on my hip or my head, I'd prefer the hip.
True.
But it's one of those, it keeps, when I fell down the stairs, yes, I fall down a lot. Well, actually, I don't.
You don't.
When I fall down, I just make it count.
Yeah, you do it properly.
When I fell down the stairs and then I fell on the same hip, it wasn't that long after, actually, off the stepladder.
Oh my word.
That's when all my hip problems, the problems with my right leg started.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, then my back was when that trailer almost spun on me, and then when I had to stop the trailer rolling into the road.
Yes.
2 separate incidences.
Missioning down the road on its own.
Yeah.
That was insane. Seeing you jump out of the bucky in front of us and run and chase this trailer.
Bucky is a truck.
Yes. And chase the trailer down the road.
Well, it was going down the wrong way on the road.
It was.
It's going into oncoming traffic.
Yes.
So technically, we would have been liable for,
Yeah.
Not even just, morally.
No.
It would have been our fault, but it would have been, all sorts of crap.
Yeah. I mean, if that thing had crashed into a car.
Yeah.
It would have been
on a
us.
big steep downhill, so it wasn't going to stop anytime soon.
No, it was going to
So
go
I had
on
to
the
do
uphill
something.
as well.
Yeah, so I had to do something, so...
Yeah, but still, it didn't come without consequences.
No, but life really does that.
Good point.
Nobody got hurt except me, which is fine.
No, that's not.
Well, ideally, nobody should have gotten hurt,
Yeah.
but rather than somebody else or oncoming traffic or a kid or whatever,
Well,
I'd rather I hurt my hip, so what?
I remember all of us in the car behind, in the vehicle behind, were like freaking out that you were jumping out and running. It seriously freaked us out.
What else are you going to do?
I don't know.
You
Act like
can
a crazy
either,
person.
in that situation, react or not. We
Yeah.
reacted.
True. Oy.
Like I said, it was going down the wrong way on a downhill. Could have easily have hurt another person.
Yeah.
So if I was the only person that got hurt, that's fine.
See, this is why I love you. Why I married you.
No. You married me because of the coffee.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
And plus, you asked me to marry you.
Yes.
Way before.
I was asleep.
You're talking in my sleep, or talking in your sleep.
I was asleep. I know nothing.
Mega Man. That's probably one you don't know.
Trying to think, but I don't know.
We would know it as Rockman. It was a Nintendo game. with the blue monarchy that chopped balls. It was a platformer.
Oh, yes.
That was Mega Man.
Okay.
I don't know whether Rockman was like a knockoff of it or just a renamed version of it.
Yeah.
But we never had Mega Man. We had Rockman.
Okay.
So that was, I think it was like 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
It was a ton of them. It was anime. It was a big IP.
Oh,
Big.
wow.
It's kind of quieted down as of late,
Yeah.
but it was a big IP.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I think it kind of lost it when the next gen consoles after the SNES came out.
Okay.
Because I remember, I think like 5 or 6 of them were on the SNES. SNES.
Yeah.
SNES. But other than that, because it's a Nintendo exclusive.
Oh, wow.
So you wouldn't have seen it on a PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
Or anything.
Yeah,
and I don't think we got
wasn't
the
big
GameCube in
into-
this country. I don't remember. I mean, we were talking about this last week with the Xbox.
Yes.
But the same thing was with the GameCube. I remember it went progression-wise was SNES, Sega
Yes.
system was
Yes.
the newer system. And then it kind of went to the Sega Saturn, which was like the new... And just as the Sega Saturn came out, PlayStation 1 came out, and then just destroyed the other two.
Oh, my word.
Don't remember a GameCube. Don't remember an Xbox.
Oh, my word.
Don't know why.
Yeah, you said you played Xbox for like, what, 3 months?
Yeah, but that was when I was 20.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or 20, in my 20s. That was the
Okay,
first...
so this was long before that.
Yeah. No, this would have been when we were teenagers.
Oh,
early
my
teens.
word. Okay.
Just around about 96-ish, somewhere around there.
Well, I had different priorities
Yeah.
at that time.
But like I said, I don't remember seeing GameCube anywhere.
Oh, my word.
I do remember there being Game Boys. I think that
Yes,
was the only thing
yes.
from Nintendo that we had other than the SNES.
Oh, my word.
So I think there was a couple of them on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think the IP has kind of stagnated.
Oh, dear.
I mean, it was an interesting idea.
Mm.
We had to go beat the bosses in specific order to get powers to go beat other bosses.
Mm.
But yeah, platformers have, well, not quite the same as what they used to be.
No.
And then, I mean, back in the day, you just played it because that's the game you had.
Yeah, true.
I've
And you
played-
played it to death.
I've played tons of games that today I wouldn't play because I have a choice of what I want to play.
No. Who downloaded the latest Tetris?
Yeah, I didn't say I did. But I'm not playing like SimCity and stuff.
No.
But we played, or Lemmings, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that was the games that we had, so we played those games.
Oh, I was big into Sims.
Yes. Well, I didn't say Sims, I said SimCity.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying Sims. I was big into.
Well, the 4's out.
Good grief.
I think 4's out. 3, 4, I don't know.
No, 3 was out for a while.
I think it's 4. Yeah. The Matrix. We can talk another hour about The Matrix if you
Oh,
want.
gosh, yes. Love The Matrix.
Avatar.
Favorite.
Pocahontas in space. Pocahontas meets Space Mouse.
Yes, it is.
It's got to be one of the most boring movies I've ever watched.
No, it's not. It's stunning.
It looks pretty. I'll give you, it looks pretty. The story is stupid.
It's not the greatest story, but it's not bad.
For $1 billion, you would expect a better story.
Yeah, but I think a lot of that was the special effects it said.
Yeah, but if you're going to spend $1 billion to animate a story, surely you want to make sure it's a good story, not Pocahontas in space,
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
where they have sex with the hair.
Yes.
And you want to... This will probably destroy your way of thinking about this.
Uh-huh.
So the way the dude and the chick bond is they put their hair together, right? And do their hair intertwining thing.
Uh-huh.
How does he tame the wild beast?
Uh-huh. They didn't go into that.
They did. He had to tame it by putting his hair there on the thing's neck.
Oh, that thing. Oh.
So the same thing that he did it with the chick, he did it with the...
Okay, you've just ruined everything.
I'm just saying. Same mechanism was used in both things.
Yeah, but that's like a
He
person and a
tamed the
person
wild
doing
beast
it.
twice.
Yeah, but that's like the person and person doing it, or person with an animal, which is just...
Wrong.
Sick.
Yes. But you'd imagine that somebody would go like, you're using the same mechanic in both of these things.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
do different things.
Yeah, sure. That would be like the equivalent of having sex with her and on its head. You're using the same bit of equipment for both. And neither of which are good.
Good point. Don't ruin the movie for me. I really
Just show
love
it who its boss. Just on its head while it's flying.
I'm sure it'll be
Who's
thrilled.
your daddy? Who's your daddy? Squawk!
No. You're horrible.
I didn't make the movie.
No, but you've broken it down into nothingness.
And they do it with the tree. The same mechanism as with the tree.
Yes,
It's a
but
multi-purpose
does
tool.
Exactly, it does different things.
He just goes around everything up.
He does, actually.
And it's Pocahontas in space. I mean, watching it at cinema, I was like, yeah, it's pretty. Because they're still planning on doing a sequel.
Oh.
I mean, it was like, it had Sigourney Weaver. It's like, okay, I'll watch that movie.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Pocahontas in space. With space smos.
It was beautifully done, though. I really enjoyed it.
It was pretty
It was pretty.
long.
It was long. It was very long.
It meandered.
It did. It did. It wasn't the fastest moving movie. The dog's upset.
Again.
Still.
Astro Boy.
No idea. I like Astros, though.
Yeah, not related. Astros are kind of like,
Smarties.
yeah.
With a biscuit center.
Yeah. Well, more like whispers
Yeah.
than Smarties.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's candy-coated whispers, basically.
Yeah.
Little ones.
Mm.
And whispers are a British thing. I don't know what the American equivalent is.
I have no idea.
It might also be whispers.
Mm.
I mean, a lot of the brand names are the same now.
Mm.
Yeah, no, Astro Boy is an old school anime. It was a TV series for kids.
Actually, I think I remember that.
Where the main character actually looks like Mega Man.
Yes. Yes, I remember that.
It's like a futuristic metropolis, and he's
Yes.
invented by, well, basically the story of Mega Man.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Was that a movie? I think it was also a TV series.
Okay.
It was black and white,
I
if I remember
recall
correctly.
watching it.
I could be wrong.
No idea.
Okay. Rick and Morty.
Still desperately want to watch it.
It's on Netflix at the moment.
Oh, cool. I must go look. I
Up
do.
up until the latest season, I think.
Because you quite enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it because it was just stupid.
Okay.
Stupid enough to be entertaining.
Okay.
But I don't think it was this highbrow thing as a lot of people think. There's this whole, you have to have like a massive IQ to truly enjoy Rick and Morty. I was like,
Okay.
no, you just need to like stupid humor.
Yeah.
Potty humor. Being a kid. You know,
Yeah.
you just laugh at somebody farting.
Yeah.
I mean, it is ridiculous. It is out there to the nth degree. It's very
Mhm.
dark humor. But I wouldn't say it's highbrow.
Okay.
That you need a massive IQ to enjoy.
Ah.
You can enjoy it without that. Just think of it as Back to the Future,
Okay.
which is basically the same dynamic. But imagine Doc Brown is a sailor and he's drunk and he swears and he
She
anything.
sounds really good.
It's basically what it is. It's like
Yeah.
the super adult version of Back to the Future.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, there are massively dark undertones,
Okay.
but there's also just stupid humor. Just
Okay.
I'm
Sounds
not talking about stupid humor as in bad humor.
Yeah.
It's just,
Slapstick.
yeah,
Okay.
in your face,
Yeah.
over the top.
Yeah. I must watch it sometime.
I mean, some of the references, you'd need to watch a lot of media. Not necessarily about intelligence. Because, I mean, they talk about Cronenberg Monsters in one of them.
Okay.
Unless you know what a Cronenberg monster is,
No idea.
which is horror director. The Thing that we were talking about earlier, those
Yeah.
monsters, those would be classified as Cronenberg monsters. So they're sort of like hybrid, morphed, half
Okay.
human, weird monster.
Awesome.
So, I mean, you wouldn't appreciate that they're making a
joke about it.
joke about Cronenberg, but you could understand that it's about the way the monsters look.
Yeah. Yeah. I must watch that.
It's like I said, it's enjoyable. Some of the episodes are really truly stupid. Not stupid funny, just stupid.
Yeah.
But it's the episodes that there are some that don't make me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Hunger Games.
Love it.
I'm hungry. I don't.
Love it.
I prefer the original.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an original.
I prefer. What the hell was it called? I can't remember.
Yeah. Smart ass.
It was an anime and it was a manga. It was called Battle Royale. That's where they stole the idea from.
Okay.
And it is way darker. And it is
Okay.
like only the Japanese can do.
Okay.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert. I mean, it's older than Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And there is even a live-action version of Battle Royale.
On my word.
So they're in this futuristic or alternate reality where there's a fascist government, and as a form of entertainment for the people and for punishing people and encouraging them, every year they take a random class of troublemakers.
Okay.
And then they put them on an island. Same class, all the same class.
Okay.
They kidnap them, they put them on an island,
Okay.
and they give them some basic survival tools, and they say the last one gets off the island.
Oh
And then they
my
off.
Oh my word.
So you have like a class of, I think it was 50 kids.
Jeez.
It's like, only the last one will survive.
Yeah. Oh my word.
And then
That sounds hectic.
it happens.
There was actually a similar movie. I can't remember the name, but I remember thinking, oh, it's just another one of those. Damn it, what was the name? Oh, I can't remember now. Gone.
No.
Brain fart.
I needed a little bit more clues than there was a movie.
Oh, I remember it was also an island that they chucked them on.
Mm-hmm. Kids, adults.
Adults.
Okay.
And
They were criminals.
yes.
And it had
Yes.
Stone Cold
Yes.
Steve Austin.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
What was that
I
called?
think it was called The Condemned, I think. It wasn't a big movie.
No, it
It
wasn't.
I think it was called The Condemned or something like that.
I enjoyed that.
I mean, that is the same as The Running Man.
Yes.
Same sort of
Yeah.
theme as The Running Man.
Yeah.
But what made Battle Royale different was it was kids. And
Ah.
they knew each other.
Oh my word, that
So it
makes
wasn't
it worse.
it wasn't complete strangers or anything. It's
Yeah.
like the class that you'd been with for the last however many years.
Oh my word, that's horrible.
I mean, it was teenagers, so
Yeah.
high school. So it's the same kids you've been in high school with.
Jeez, like.
And I mean, there was, all the sorts of horrible stuff that you'd expect humans to do.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Hmm.
That sounds hectic.
Yeah. And then Hunger Games comes around, it's like, yeah, this is just a soft version of that.
I love the fire dress though.
Yeah, I mean, they had the dystopian future, but it was was a highbrow or high society future.
Yeah.
So I mean, that wasn't in Battle Royale. Battle
Okay.
Royale, the government was just a fascist government.
Okay.
It was just a communist. I don't know what the hell it was.
Okay.
It was just an authoritarian government.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, District 1 in the Hunger Games. I think
Yeah.
I've only watched the first one.
I've also only watched the first one. Apparently the second one was.
Wasn't there 3?
I have no idea. I only remember when 2 came out, everybody said it was and I decided to just not even watch it, to not destroy what 1 was.
Okay. I don't know. I wasn't impressed with 1, so I didn't really want to watch 2.
Mm.
I mean,
I enjoyed it.
I mean, when you've got the different districts with different training
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, and they've still got the complete stranger thing,
Yeah.
that is a different level too. It is your friends, and
Yes.
everybody's untrained.
Yeah.
So it's more like Lord of the Flies
Oh.
than
okay.
it is like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
So it's untrained, and you only one survive. So how do you do alliances? How do you go it alone? Do you make
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are people that you know. You may not know them well,
Yeah.
but you know them.
That makes it a whole different level.
So it is a lot darker than the Hunger Games. Hunger Games is like just a Hollywood fluffy version of it. So it didn't interest me that much.
Yeah.
It was like,
I enjoyed it.
eh,
We have very different tastes
in movies, yeah.
in movies, yes.
Well, yeah, I've watched it at least.
True.
And that's about it. Cthulhu Mythos.
Colleen, one of my favorite
One of your favorite
friends.
friends. Oh,
One of my favorite friends,
fighting words.
one of my best friends, has an obsession with Cthulhu.
Well, Cthulhu specific, because this is a branch of Lovecraft,
Yes.
cosmic horror, all of that stuff. I'm not too clued up on specifically the Cthulhu mythos, but I do remember when I was a teenager playing Cthulhu Mythology, which is a pen and paper like D&D, like Dungeons
wow.
and Dragons,
Yeah.
but it was all built around the Cthulhu mythos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, we played it for a while, like a couple months.
Oh, wow.
So,
Cool.
and I mean, Cthulhu has made it into a lot of games and stuff.
Yeah.
I think when people think Lovecraftian, they think Cthulhu mythology mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you want to watch a mind of a movie, go watch In the Mouth of Madness.
Okay.
It's a horror movie. It is Lovecraftian,
Okay.
and it is a mind.
That sounds good.
That's all I'll say. If you haven't watched In the Mouth of Madness, go watch it. It's an old movie. And it's got the actor from Jurassic Park 1.
Oh, wow.
The professor dude.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
No idea.
It's got him in it.
Oh, cool.
It is, if you enjoy horror, if you enjoy cosmic horror,
Yeah.
and if you enjoy bloody, dark horror,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy In the Mouth of Madness.
I need to watch that.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Trying not to be a spoiler here. It is interesting.
Okay. I'll go give that a watch.
It's not Lovecraft, but
Yeah.
it's Lovecraftian.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Space Invaders, I'm guessing it's the game.
Mm.
Although I don't know why it would be on everybody's heard of
Yeah.
Space Invaders.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call it sci-fi. I mean, you're a ship shooting aliens, but I never actually saw
Not
that as...
sci-fi-ish.
Oh, I never saw it as you're just shooting monsters.
Yeah. It's
It wasn't
just a
specifically
shooter
alien.
game.
Yeah.
Boring.
Well, it wasn't for its time.
No, it was very entertaining for its time.
I know for my matric, grade 11 final year project, I wrote Space Invaders in Turbo Pascal.
Oh, cool. That was a while ago. You just
Yeah,
gave your age away.
Most
Completely.
of the people on my channel know how old I am. But yeah, so, I mean, it is a simple idea. And it can...
He has grey hair in his beard.
Most people think I'm an old man in a rocking chair reading them stories, so I'm pretty much sure that they imagine me as just this old man reading to them who's gonna die of old age in the next couple of minutes.
No, he's not that old.
No, but I'm old enough. So yeah, there's no story to it.
No.
I don't know what you should really discuss about it.
Yeah.
You pew-pewed the things
Pew-pew.
and then died eventually.
Yeah. At some point.
Yeah. I mean, there's, I think the classic games, there's like a world championship.
Oh, wow.
Same as like, Pac-Man and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
The Terminator.
Terminator.
I'll be back.
Later.
Meh. When you rewind the movie.
I enjoyed it.
I'm guessing this is just talking about the whole franchise rather
Yeah.
than just the first movie.
Yeah.
1, awesome. 2, awesome. Everything else,
Yeah. What about that new one that came out?
new is relative because you're not talking about the new one. You're talking about the other one because they've done it again.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, I mean the one before the last one.
The one where it was
Where
Fall.
Where there's the guy that dresses up in a fancy suit.
Yeah. Well, one was when they sent back Kyle Reese to protect John Connor's mother,
Okay.
which ended up being John Connor's dad, which is just, okay, weird time loopy, wibbly wobbly stuff happening there. Second one was John Connor sent back a Terminator to protect John Connor
Okay.
from the T-2000, which was the liquid one.
Okay.
The third one, they don't. Somebody sends back a T-1000 to protect John Connor and his girlfriend
Okay.
from the T-3000, 4000, whatever. So like a souped-up version.
Yeah.
And then it ended up, they thought that they were trying to avoid Doomsday,
Okay.
but it actually turned out his mission was to get them to a bunker
Oh, wow.
so that they didn't die during the Doomsday.
Yeah.
But they didn't know that until the end.
Okay.
And then it also wasn't John Connor that sent it back, it was his wife. So the Terminator wouldn't listen to him.
Okay.
His mission was, because the first one, because John Connor sent him back,
Yeah.
John Connor, the young one,
Yeah.
could order him around.
Aha.
But in the third one, because his wife sent him back, it was programmed to listen to his wife,
Oh, bugger.
not him. So it basically it tricked him into going into a bunker
Oh, my word.
to live out the Doomsday and then
Yeah.
become part of the Resistance later.
Okay.
Then the fourth one, this is when it starts getting seriously wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey bull. Happens before 3.
Okay.
Not in the same universe as 3. They don't even acknowledge 3 happened.
Okay.
They try and stop the Skynet launching by taking over the building.
Okay.
But instead of stopping it, they actually cause it to happen. And the guy in the suit that you're thinking about is the John Connor from the future that's been taken over by the artificial intelligence and nanite swarm.
Aha.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey bull.
Yeah,
And then
I'm so
the latest
confused now.
one is it goes back to when John Connor was a kid and shoots him.
Oh, shit.
So
well, that ended that one.
the 2, 3, and 4 just go f off.
Yeah.
We're rewriting everything. And then I don't know what the story is. It's got the main chick from the first one
Yeah.
in that one, and then another woman. I think it's a daughter or a cousin or something.
Okay.
I have no idea what the plot is. Didn't watch it. After just like, yeah, I've had enough of this. I liked the first one. I liked the second one. Third one was meh, passable.
Yeah.
As in meh. I didn't feel completely cheated of my time.
Yeah.
Fourth one was complete.
Oh dear.
Just because it retconned like 3. It's like, yeah, okay, I know we're doing timey-wimey, but can we at least be some consistency in our timey-wimey?
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was also Terminator Salvation, which was in the future.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
The name escapes me. I can remember what he's been in.
Okay.
He was Batman in The Dark Knight. Talked in a very gravelly voice.
Yeah.
I am the protector of Gotham.
No idea.
Yeah, him. He played John Connor in the future.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. So it was supposed to take part just before he sent his dad back to go sleep with his mom, basically. Well, that's why he sent him back.
Oh.
Because if he doesn't send him back, he doesn't get born.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, timey-wimey.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it got very and then there was the TV series, Sarah Connor Chronicles. I don't know where that fits into the timeline.
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be between 2 and 3. 1 and 2.
Oh, my word.
Because
confusion reigns.
Because in 3, she died of cancer already.
Oh, dear.
And in 1, she destroyed Terminator, and 2, she was a badass. There was many years in between. It was like 14 years or something.
Okay.
Because he was already a teenager in the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
So the TV series was, as far as I remember, between 1 and 2.
Grief. Okay. I hate it when they do things like that.
Yeah, I mean, when it works, but it didn't work with the Terminator.
Yeah, but it's so... You can't just sit down and enjoy a movie.
No.
You've got to know this happened and that happened.
This is the age of the universe. Like the MCU and the DCU. Which is nice and was novel when it first came out. But now everybody wants a universe.
Yeah.
I mean, they redid The Mummy with, keep forgetting his name, the Scientology dude.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I wanted to say Tom Hanks, but it's definitely not
No.
Tom Hanks. Although I'd probably actually watch it if it was Tom Hanks.
I was just about to say, that could be entertaining.
Yeah, it would be mildly funny.
Oh my, a mummy.
Yeah.
But is it a daddy mummy or a mummy?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he hasn't done anything funny in a while, Tom Hanks. He's done a lot of, like, serious stuff.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, Tom Cruise was in The Mummy, the remake. And they were planning to do this whole, they called it the Dark Universe.
Okay.
Because the studio that had the rights to The Mummy also has Dracula, The Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde. It was all the same. They did all these movies back in the day.
Yeah.
So they still have the rights to that stuff.
Okay.
So they wanted to make them all part of the same universe.
Oh, cool.
Which is kind of what it was, because you used to have like Dracula versus The Mummy. And The Invisible Man versus Jekyll and Hyde. Just these schlocky, crappy, bottom tier horror movies.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make it into a whole universe.
Oh, cool.
So they set up a lot of crap in the first one.
Yeah.
People were like, well, just make a good first movie.
Yeah.
Because that's what made MCU different, is they made a good movie, and then at the end they said, but wait, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Iron Man 1 works as its own movie.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a nice lead into the universe.
Yeah.
Whereas the problem with DCU is like, they try to do too much in a movie. DCU, they mostly try to like do an Avengers event first, which is the Justice League. It's like, no. You've got Superman because they did the new Superman, and then they went straight into Justice League. It was like, well, let's do the new Batman. Yeah. Let's do the Wonder Woman. Let's do the...
Yeah.
So it was they used the Justice League as a launching point for the individual things, rather than having individual movies going into the Justice League event.
Okay. Yeah. The Marvel way of doing it makes more sense.
So, yeah, there was that. And then they tried it with the Suicide Squad, which was also the same thing. They tried doing too much in one movie.
Yeah. Trying to keep track of who was who and who did what. And
yeah, I mean, if you were vaguely familiar with the comics, it would be like, okay, it vaguely makes sense.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great movie. It was a music video. It was an hour and a half music video.
I enjoyed it. Not massively, but I did enjoy it.
I personally think that it's Margot Robbie carried that film. Not because of her acting, just by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's a bad actor, but that's not the reason why she carried that film.
No.
Harley Quinn carried that film.
Yes.
People watch that movie to watch Harley Quinn.
Very much.
I mean, this is a Harley Quinn that didn't quite exist in the comics and didn't quite exist before the movie.
Yeah.
Her style and all of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's it.
I still think it's ridiculous that, I can't remember what the competition was, but she won best makeup, like special effects on face and hair, and at the same time there was some movie where they brought out this whole creature, and it took like hours to put her suit together, and people were like, she dyed her hair pink and blue versus
and put a lot of talcum powder on her face.
Yeah. It's like, no, that doesn't work.
Award shows are a waste of time. They have been for a very long time. But yeah, so, I mean, you had DC's been trying to kick off the DCU. They just keep sucking. However, the DC animated stuff was good back in the day. Batman, Superman.
Oh, yes, yes.
Universal, I want to say, wanted to do the Dark Universe with Jekyll and Hyde. Basically like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay.
But
cool.
More in depth.
Yeah.
And not based on a comic. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a comic.
Yeah. I knew that.
I'm
so clever.
There have been tons of movies that have tried to kick off like this because I mean, if you can get a universe going, that is billions of dollars. If you get a successful universe going. I mean, it's what, 30, 40 films in the MCU?
Yeah.
And each one of them is, I think the worst one is like $500 million.
Good grief.
So, yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
My bad.
Universes. Yeah, so I mean, they've got 40 movies. That's ranging between $500 million and $1 billion. Or over $1 billion.
Yeah. True.
That's a stupendous amount of money. That is a consistent income for a decade, 2 decades for us. I mean, this is what horror franchises do. Yeah. Where Insidious, how was it called? It wasn't Insidious. It was Annabelle, the first one. Wasn't called Insidious.
Wasn't it just called Annabelle?
No, Annabelle wasn't the first one.
Oh.
Annabelle was a character. It was a doll in the first one that they pointed to.
Yes. I watched it the other day.
The Haunting. No. Yes, The Haunting.
Yes. That's
Haunting?
it. I think.
Something like that. So, I mean, they made a whole franchise out of it. So they had 1, 2, and I think 3. I watched 1 and 2. Then they did Annabelle, which is like a spin-off. Okay. And then Annabelle 2. Yeah. And then in one of them, they were talking about a nun. Okay. There was a ghost of a nun in the second film, I want to say. Okay. And then they've done 1 and 2 of that nun. So they're like building up a whole universe around it. But you see that in horror films more often. If you look at like Saw, which was 6 films? 5 films?
6, I think number 7's coming out.
Well, 7 was, 6 was the last year, wasn't it? Year before.
Oh gosh, I can't remember now. I think there's 6. No, there's 7.
Because the latest one was called Jigsaw, it wasn't called Saw. I mean, Halloween, I think, has got 7, 8. Oh gosh, yeah. Jason, or Friday the 13th, has got like 3 billion. Yeah. On a good day, maybe 4 billion. I don't know. Jason in Space was so funny. Jason X. It was so terribly bad. It was awesomely bad. Okay. It is stupendously bad.
I think I'll give it a skip.
It is mind-numbingly awesomely bad.
I know.
Yes. Freddy Krueger was like 8, 9.
Yeah, there were a million.
And that's not even including like the reboot that didn't work.
Yeah.
Just the original Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, horror franchises have been doing it for a while. Yeah. But you don't normally have like the separate characters having their own like movie structure. And then they sort of meet. Yeah. I think that's what Marvel did. Yes. Which everybody's failing to do. Yeah. Really. And then they had TV series tying into it as well, and comics and stuff. Yeah. Interesting stuff. Anything there that you would say that should be in the first tier? I think personally the Matrix should be in the first
I
tier.
was just about to say, Avatar, maybe.
Yeah. I would say Avatar as well.
Um,
I would actually move War of the Worlds down to second tier from the first tier.
Yes, so would I.
Because there hasn't been a recent movie of it.
No.
It was a classic book and movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be as pop culture-ish as The Matrix or Avatar.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Avatar was on the same sort of level as Jurassic Park with the advertising and how because that was in shops and the release was a massive thing.
Yeah.
Matrix not so much, but Matrix was just one of those sleeper hits.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, everybody's at least seen the scene where he does the woo woo with the bullets coming at him.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's been mocked numerous times now as well.
Oh yeah.
We're getting into the more sort of international stuff as well with Astro Boy and Mega Man.
Cthulhu had moved down though.
I don't know. Some of the Cthulhu mythos is quite popular.
I suppose it depends on where you are.
Well, I mean, it's a whole mythos.
Yes.
So, I mean, it could be vaguely, tangentially related, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's actually Cthulhu.
True.
It could be Cthulhu or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think that would actually be, I had the word earlier, Cthulhu mythology, no, gone. There's a name for it, which isn't necessarily Cthulhu mythology. It is cosmic horror.
Okay.
It's what all of Lovecraft stuff falls into cosmic horror.
Okay.
And Cthulhu mythology also falls into cosmic horror.
Okay.
So it's like the broader...
Yeah, sci-fi horror.
Yeah. Well, yeah, interdimensional beings and madness and...
Yeah. Coolness.
Because that's the main thing with Cthulhu mythology is it drives you insane. Well, cosmic horror.
Yeah.
These beings are so powerful, so beyond us that even just looking at them, you cannot comprehend.
Yeah.
There's been a couple actually recently that Nicolas Cage movie recently. It was also Lovecraftian or cosmic. Yeah, last year or two.
No idea.
And The Void, which was a couple years ago.
Yes.
Which is also sort of a callback to the old cosmic horror movies.
Yeah. So the picture there, that's the Doom guy, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a live model of the original Doom guy. I don't know whether that's specifically from a game, but Doom didn't have that graphics. Neither did Doom 2.
No.
And in Doom 3, you didn't see his face, I don't think. From then on, you don't see his face.
Oh, wow.
I mean, technically in 1 and 2, you only see his face in the
little picture at the bottom.
The HUD.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Doom guy, which makes sense. So is there anything that you put into this level that isn't here? Which may be later.
Trying to think of popular science-fi stuff that I know.
Fifth Element, I'd actually move up. I could just see it peeking out over there.
I don't know Fifth Element at all.
You've seen it with it.
Oh, okay.
It's with Bruce Willis and...
Oh, yes. Okay.
Boobies. Scantily dressed supermodel person. Who played Resident Evil Chickie.
Yes.
Scantily dressed Resident Evil Chickie.
For heaven's sake, I can't remember her name now.
I mean, it's impressive that through scientific willpower alone, that her breast size increased between Fifth Element and...
It's amazing what science can do.
Yeah. It's the camera. It adds 10 pounds. It just doesn't say where. Some people it's on the ass, some people it's on the face. And she was lucky enough that it was neither of those.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my word.
Because there are very different chest sizes in the two different movies.
Yes, there are.
You can't even pretend like, it was just the way it was shot or the angle.
Oh, no. What about, You're All Going to Die down here?
That's Resident Evil.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I would say that would probably be higher up.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it depends on which... A lot of the people that really enjoy the game hate the movie. And I suppose most of the people that enjoy the movie don't particularly like the game.
I sort of enjoyed the game, just never really got into it.
Yeah, it's a very specific type of game. And I mean, there's been a couple of new releases. The franchise is still going. But it's on the game side of it. It's still still strong as ever. There is a couple animated movies that have absolutely nothing to do
Yeah.
with the Hollywood movies.
Okay.
I mean, watching the Resident Evil movies, if you just take yourself away from it's based on the game, they're okay movies. They're not great, they're not stupendous.
Yeah.
And it does get more stupid as
Yeah.
one is cool, the rest are kind of like, well, this is getting off. Yeah, so it's like, this is getting cool. I mean, the first one was nice, but...
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, I suppose it's like Aliens as well. It's like you started off cool, and then each one just got a little bit more stupid and grasping at straws.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one was just mind-numbingly stupid. I mean, the action was okay in the last one, but it's just it comes so OTT.
Yeah.
And the first one at least was vaguely realistic.
Yes.
But then it's like, okay, she's a super soldier. Does that mean she can bend the laws of physics?
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be the extra gravitational force around her chest.
Oh no.
Makes the bullets miss. But yeah, so I mean, I'd put the movies higher up. Because I think a lot more of your average person would have watched the movies than played the games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd put the games lower down.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least the tier below this, I'd put the game series.
Yeah.
Although I say that, but the latest one did very well. The Village.
Okay.
Resident Evil 6, 7, 20, I don't know.
Okay.
I know it's called Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
With big mommy milkers.
Huh?
Big mommy milkers.
Aha.
There's a 7-foot tall, and I don't know whether this is part of the draw of the game or how popular it is, but there is a 7-foot tall, hourglass figured mommy milker carrying evil, beautiful vampire as the bad guy.
Aha.
And she talks dirty to you, apparently.
Oh, wow. Just what you always want.
So I don't know whether that has anything to do with the popularity of the game.
I'll get it for you for your birthday.
No,
how's
goody.
that?
Yeah, it was Lady Dimitri.
Okay.
Which, it's like, I haven't played the game, but I know what she's called because of all the memes. Because a bunch of people got upset because her boobs were too big. She was too sexy. I'm like, okay.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, fine. It's a game. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, my word.
If you want to buy the game just to stare at those, then good on you, I suppose.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. Who knew that you can play a PlayStation game with one hand?
Babe. No. You're ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
Because you got to eat. Pick up popcorn. And drink your Coke or cool drink. Scratch your head.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Cover your eyes so you're not staring at the mommy milkers.
Uh-huh.
There's many reasons why you'd be playing with one hand. What were you thinking?
Well, 3 guesses what I was thinking.
I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking in the best of times. You're my wife. This is like a black box.
Like that joke about the remotes.
Yes. The men are like one button. Women are like a computer. Supercomputer.
Uh-huh.
With like a mixing table of buttons.
Uh-huh.
I don't... You asked me once what I was thinking, and I told you, and you never asked me again. This is why I've never asked you what you're thinking.
That makes sense. I can understand your point of view.
But yeah, so I'll put the games lower down, the movie higher up.
Yeah.
The other thing is I personally haven't been too into movies and games over the last at least 5 years.
Yeah. We're both out of sync a bit, I think.
With, it's a combination of not having time and not having money, again, to get the games and all of that. So there are movies that have come out that I would like to watch, but I haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
There were big things at the time.
That's
It's like, I didn't have the time to watch it or the inclination to go watch it. So, yeah. So, some of these franchises, they could have had something happen in the last couple of years, which I don't know about.
Yeah.
Which is very feasible. Like I think this Resident Evil was one of the bigger releases
Okay.
for the franchise, mainly because of the big vampire with big boobies.
Yeah.
Sex cells. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
It's that all the memes around her and her big boobies and crushing you. There was a whole crushing thing going on.
Okay.
It was just like everybody was talking about, the big mommy milker vampire. That's what sold that. I suppose if you can get a meme made of your game before release, it's going to sell well.
True.
So
Good point.
it was quite well received.
Cool.
I don't know about the game, but The launch was anticipated. X-Files, I think they're redoing.
Yes. I recall hearing something like that.
Mega Man, I know there was a failed Kickstarter to make a game that was the spiritual successor to it. And
okay.
They made like $2 or $3 million.
Jeez.
And then they released a half-finished game.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
There wasn't anything like what they said they were going to release.
Oh, no.
Gundam has always been going. The thing that also makes Gundam very popular is they have a whole model range. Like,
oh, wow.
Buildable models. Like
cool.
the planes and tanks that we had as kids.
Yeah.
You can buy the mecha and just put them together.
Oh, cool.
And paint them. So they have an entire range of that.
Oh, that sounds cool.
They got it as like a 4-story tall one in Japan.
Wow.
They did it for some event.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Just a mech in the middle of some place in Japan.
Oh my word.
Just, if you didn't think the Japanese were weird enough. Cthulhu Mythos, I think, is more of a horror stuff than sci-fi.
Yeah.
I wonder if you would actually consider something like Event Horizon. I don't know whether you watched Event Horizon.
Sounds familiar.
It's in space, and they come across the ship that was the first to break through wormhole, self-created wormhole, faster than light travel. But the crew is all dead.
Oh dear.
The ship disappeared for years, so this is like the rescue ship trying to find them,
and
it just popped back into existence.
Okay.
And the way they got around FTL in that movie was reality bending.
Okay.
So in all sci-fi movies where they're talking about wormhole creation, reality bending, the 2 pieces of paper and the hole and all of that.
Yes.
So they punch a hole through reality and pop somewhere else. But they arrive there and all sorts of weird, happens, on the level of Hellraiser.
Oh my
starts
word.
happening. Just the most random horror, people peeling the faces off and the dead coming back, and
oh my word.
it is out there. And it turns out, spoiler alert, that the interdimension that they went to was hell.
Oh shit.
So they went through hell, and that's when, and they brought a bit of hell back with them.
Cool.
Just the demonic energy.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would, I think, fall into the Cthulhu mythology.
Yes.
Or, not necessarily Cthulhu, but cosmic horror.
Sounds good, though.
It was a very good movie. It also has the dude from Jurassic Park in it.
Oh, my word.
Randomly. And Morpheus from The Matrix.
Oh, cool.
If I remember correctly.
Oh, cool.
Yes, I don't remember actor names. I don't remember director names. I remember what they've done, not their names.
You're good with names as well.
Yeah, not that great.
Better than me.
But I mean, I can tell you what I remember them. Other movies that they've acted in.
Yeah. The Face.
And stuff. Yeah, I can't. I would have had Alien versus Predator in there, but I suppose that falls under Aliens and Predator, separate things.
Yeah. I think it's covered.
I would barely call Little Shop of Horrors sci-fi.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I mean, technically, the plant is alien.
Yeah, I guess.
Random fact just popped into my head.
Yeah.
There are 2 endings to the movie.
Oh.
The one that everybody saw was the one where they chopped it down with the axe.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was like somebody walking around with another little Audrey.
Yes.
But in the other ending, it kills them. It grows and it destroys the city.
Oh, cool. I prefer that version.
Well, it was cut, I think. So it wasn't like fully animated and fully done.
Yeah.
Like that. But that was the original ending.
Oh, cool.
But then they changed it to a happier ending. And they lived happily ever after.
And then the story continued and it all went downhill.
Yeah, pretty much.
Happy endings are stories that haven't finished yet.
Yeah, pretty much. Or either that or the delusional.
Yes, true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are still missing. Biker Mice from Mars. But I suppose those are like kid shows and they're not really...
Yeah.
Well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a franchise. But Biker Mice from Mars isn't.
No,
that was just
it's
the
not.
cartoon.
Yeah. I'd imagine for most adults, that are older than us, it wouldn't be something they would have seen because it was kiddies' cartoons.
I suppose. I would have actually had... I wonder if Dragon Ball Z would be classified as sci-fi. I think that would just be fantasy.
Yeah, I think it's fantasy.
Even though, I mean, you're dealing with other planets and stuff, but it's more on the fantasy side.
Yeah.
Fantastical rather than the scientific.
Yes, definitely.
But I mean, if it was classified as a sci-fi, I would say Dragon Ball Z would have to be higher.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, this is also a very limited list. You can go through 1 million movies and you'd still...
Oh,
or
yeah.
1 million different franchises.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's it. What do you think?
I'm happy to end it there
Okay.
for today.
The dog has fallen asleep on my foot. I can't feel my toes. I'm not saying my
Aw.
dog's fat, but my toes, I can't feel them. They went to sleep with the doggy. Yes. That's me rambling for 2 hours, or us rambling for 2 hours. Any comments or anything like that, suggestions, drop them down below. We'll consider them. And, as always, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just a jackass who talks. So, I've spoken to my best knowledge. I haven't Googled anything. So, I'm probably wrong about everything. And I'm willing to be wrong about everything.
Or at least something.
Well, if you go in with the idea of I'm wrong about everything, then nothing's going to surprise you.
True. Good point.
My word is not gospel. This is just what I remember.
Yeah.
You know, as we get further down the list, it's going to become more of a problem because you start getting into the more obscure stuff.
Yeah.
More specific.
Yeah.
I mean, like Cthulhu mythology, you could spend your entire adult life just delving into that with the fan fictions and the stories and all of that stuff.
Very much, yeah.
So, I mean, you're basically breaking it down into fandoms. And
yeah.
Some of them you have to delve. So it's like Warhammer 40k, which is on the next list.
I see it, yeah.
I know of Warhammer 40k. I remember it as the tabletop game.
Yes.
I haven't read anything or any lore related to it.
No, me neither.
So, I mean, I know bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But there's just so much lore. It's so dense that you'd have to basically focus solely on that for a good chunk of time just to catch up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I don't have that time to.
No.
So
it's out there.
It's out there, and I might get a cheat sheet to it at some point.
That might be a good idea.
Well, there are channels that do it.
Okay.
Like the explanations and stuff.
Okay.
But it's time.
Yep.
Time.
Timey-wimey.
I only have so much time.
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey.
And now everybody's at me to take weekends off. It's not only you.
I know you were saying.
Well, no, this week has been worse than last week.
I'm out.
People are like, well, why are you releasing videos? You're supposed to be taking the weekend off. I am. As much as I can, at least.
True.
But anyways. Yeah. You want more of this, you know what to do. You subscribe, and you leave a comment.
Please.
Ooh-woo.
Ooh-woo.
Till next week. Cheers.
Bye.